and welcome back to Two Props,
One Pod.
And we've got a very special episode today, haven't we?
We have very special episode.
I mean, every episode is special.
Yes.
Every episode, they get the joy of us
just talking
inanely.
Yeah,
every week. Yeah. But we're actually joined by a special guest today.
Raise the roof.
Anja, would you like to introduce our guest?
I would. Today we have a very special surprise guest. Well, I wasn't really surprised once we guessed who it is, but it was Mummy thought it was going to be a surprise. We have the very talented Hollie Borden on the show today. She's going to insert herself now.
There she is.
Hello, everyone.
How are you, Hollie?
I'm good, thank you.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Welcome to Two Props, One Pod.
Yeah, it's lovely to be here.
This is us,
the most aptly named podcast in podcast history, you know?
I love it.
Gem's not actually a prop though anymore, Hollie, so, you know, we'll consider changing it now. So, you know.
Maybe we might have to.
Spiritually, always.
Once a prop, always a prop, you know?
Yeah, it's part of your DNA. It's a part of your DNA, definitely.
I did play prop at Sevens, so
technically, you like were designed to be here, Hollie.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly.
Technically, you were meant to be on this pod. It was meant to be. Woo.
Absolutely, and we noticed that we are actually matching today, which I love.
Yeah,
the cozy vibes.
I didn't get the memo. I didn't get the pink hoodie memo. So awkward. Okay, guys.
Right. So, Hollie, for anyone that maybe hasn't met you before, isn't familiar with your history, you know, we've loved getting to know you, but just tell the Two Props One Pod listeners, who is Hollie Borden?
So, I'm from Manchester, so
amazing.
Up north.
Yeah.
So I play for Sale Sharks, and I'm 22 years old.
Wonderful. How did you get into rugby, Hollie? Did you have like any inspirations? Did you just randomly pick it up one day? Was it just a spur of the moment thing?
Yeah, so I used to play football and I used to do athletics, and my best friend's dad, he was a rugby coach, big rugby advocate, and he was always telling me, "Come on, please come down." Like he was like, "Come on." And I was just a bit
all
like,
the time.
Yeah, literally, and I was like, "No, like I don't want to." I was just like, I didn't really know much about rugby. Obviously, I watched it a few times and stuff, and there was no rugby in my school. So I ended up going down one time and really enjoyed it. And there was actually, I was quite lucky, there was a girls' team. Yeah. So and I just left that bracket where you couldn't play with the boys anymore.
Yeah,
so,
nice.
Went straight into it. I loved it. Started playing for Eccles, which is my home club, Eccles. So
fantastic.
And then quite quickly got into playing for County, which was Lancashire, and then moved. At the time, we had like a north of England sort of thing, so it was like
north and south,
Midland. So was really lucky, got into that, and then
fantastic.
Yeah, so then I left high school at 16, and then was deciding what to do, and I actually decided to go to Loughborough College. So moved to Loughborough when I was 16, joined Loughborough College sort of thing, was playing for them. And then Lightning formed, so started training and playing for Loughborough. And then I think that was for 3 years. And then COVID hit, unfortunately, so ended up moving home.
Yeah, not bad.
And joined Sale. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
What a story.
That's an incredible journey.
That is a good rugby story.
Yeah.
I think cool. You may have played at every team in the north.
Yeah. Do a round trip of them all, why not?
Literally, why not?
Love that.
What would be, I think, or what's the best piece of advice you heard during all those changes? Obviously there's a lot of knockbacks in that journey. What's the best piece of advice that you heard that kind of sticks with you?
I would probably say that you can always sort of push yourself to limits, even if you don't get to where you want to be, just keep sort of going. Because I remember when obviously I just started training with Loughborough, and I was around Katie Daly-McLean, obviously Sarah Hunter and all them internationals, and I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I kind of like this. Like, I had a bit of disbelief sort of thing. But then actually, when I said, you know what, actually, I am good enough to be here, it actually started paying off, and I started to be able to play. I started getting selected.
Yeah.
So yeah, just sort of push yourself to the limits. Obviously, if you fail, it happens. It's life. Yeah. But keep pushing yourself, really, and you can get to where you want to be.
The one that always sticks with me is I got taught, like, fail hard, fail fast.
Yeah.
Like, if you go at something, go at it 100%. If you fail, that's fine. Fail hard, but then fail fast and move forward.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? You've tried.
Exactly.
Anja, is there a piece of like advice that sticks with you?
Again, I think, and this I don't know, because I've never played a high level. I'm just kind of, we play at a good level, but I'm no professionals. But I would say I always just kind of like, we get a lot of like the under 18s. We've got quite a good age group selection at our club. We've worked really hard for it over the years, and we always get a lot of under 18s kind of coming up to the ladies team when they finally kind of get to that age, and they always look so petrified before their first game of ladies rugby. They just all look like lost little lambs. So I always just kind of say to them, like, at the end of the day, no matter what happens, it's a game, and life will go on tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't, as much as we all want to win because we're all competitive, it's just a game. Just go out there, enjoy it, and whether we win or lose, just know that you've tried your best and just had fun with it. Because if you're not having fun with it, then there's no real point doing it. So enjoy it, have fun, just do you. You've been selected for a reason, so go on the pitch and just thrive. That'd be my. And I get a bit shouty on the pitch, but I'm really nice in real life, like I do.
Yeah, that's like me.
Yeah. So Anja and I actually regularly play each other, which is always really entertaining.
We're in the same league. Yeah.
And we'll just be like winking at each other in scrums, like it gets way too friendly. Is there someone, Hollie, that you like when you see them, we're always like, eh, or on the opposite scale, you're always like, I'm going for your thighs, kind of thing.
Yeah. I'm going for
so obviously, like Loughborough being my previous team, recently one of my good friends, Daisy Jones, has moved to Loughborough, and she is one of my all-time favourite players to like watch play with, like. So it's been funny quite recently to actually play against her, and sort of slap her on the bum when she's get off and stuff like that. But
it's always the same every time. Like if Gemma's over me in a ruck, I'm like, you are?
Yeah,
that's a good.
Like morning.
Although last time she did get a broken nose, so I met her on the sidelines and stuff. That wasn't me though.
No.
I didn't do that. It was an accident.
It was an accident, so it's fine.
My team did apologise for that. I'm sorry about that. A little bit. So you kind of mentioned in that when you were at Loughborough Lightning and you were playing alongside all these kind of like internationals and you were a bit in awe. Would you say there is one player out there who really motivated you, or you're really inspired by, or who you wanted to be like?
It's got to be Skaz.
It has, isn't it?
Got to be Skaz. And not only just like on the pitch, but off the pitch, like
just
nicest human being I've ever met.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like, and just
I thought that
so helpful, so like you say, inspiring, so calm, collected.
She's just got some really calm energy about her, doesn't she? Like, I mean, I haven't met her, but like every time you see her, she just seems like so and yet one of the greatest rugby players in the world, but just literally very chilled.
And
she's got the same thing that, like, it's gonna sound really weird, but Alanwen Jones has a very same aura of I can steer everyone in this room in a way that they would follow me off a cliff and I would be fine with it. Like they have got that calm leadership
if she
energy.
told me to jump, I jump, you know what I mean? Like, she was just like I'd follow her.
And it's like as well, like you could be new to the team and she'll still like say hello to you, and exactly. And I think that's really important, especially because it's a nerve-wracking thing, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? So I would say Skaz, and obviously she's great to watch. You learn off her. You learn a lot off her. So yeah, I'd probably say Emily.
She makes it look so easy, doesn't she? Like sometimes I'm watching it, I'm like,
I was literally having this conversation the other day with someone we was talking about like passing and how effortless she passes. Like she's just like no pressure all the time. Literally.
And her run as well, as someone who like struggles just moving through life, right?
As a prop, just sprinting, like, and she's
sprinting and she looks like she's just like going for like
them long legs.
Do you know what makes me laugh is that, full well, if she was on my team, my coach would be like shouting at me at the sidelines, like not supporting her, but she'd be up the other end of the pitch and there's no way I'd catch up with her. I'm coming right behind you.
I love that.
So amazing. We are now halfway through the 22-23 season. How's the season going for you, do you feel? And what's your kind of like next, what are your like focus points for the season, or what are you hoping to get out of it, really?
So cup went okay, bit rocky up and down. I think we were looking to do a little bit better in that, but as you know, like for first couple of games you're getting into it, and we had our first 3 games and we actually won obviously 3 out of 4, so for us, good. Tap on the shoulder, couldn't fault the team. Great,
love that.
Great work, we've got a few hard games coming up. We've got Exeter this weekend. We know they're going to be tough, always a challenge. But I think we're just looking to complete our goals. So we've obviously not set really high standards. We're not, sort of thing. But just like the little marginal wins and stuff. Just sort of like getting points on the board and sort of stuff like that. We know there's games that we can win, and we have set focuses on games that we look to target more. Really just sort of staying as a unit, obviously with the news from the RFU and stuff. We just want to stay together and we want to sort of finish mid-table. So just focusing on that and just sort of sticking together and working very hard, really.
I was just going to say, like, from that point of what the RFU have done in terms of like the restructuring of the Premier 15s, obviously. I mean, I think actually you've probably heard from like the general Women's Rugby Society that I think a lot of us are completely gutted that as of now there's not a club up north in the Premier 15s. I think it's an absolute shambles. I think I was shocked not to see Sale up there, and I really hope that obviously with the appeal process that you guys get a space in that. But like, has that affected the mood at camp, or is it kind of brought you closer together and you kind of want to go hard for the rest of the season to make your point and to like stamp your ground and be like, we're here and we're here to stay?
100%. Like, it's not, it's devastating news sort of thing, and fair play for Tails because she's not changed one bit. She's still the same hard-working, ambitious lady that she is, and she's put a lot of hope in our minds and stuff. And very emotional. It's very sort of, we don't understand and stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff in the air, but we're just sort of like, we know we can win. We know we can do it. So we just keep pushing for that, really. Literally. And I don't think everyone's different. Everyone reacts different and stuff like that. And we've had we're very lucky to have people come in. We've got a guy called Tim who comes in and he gives us. We have sort of like a well-being talk with him, and he's put some really nice ideas of how we can stay together and stuff like that.
That's great. That mindset aspect is so important.
100%.
That is I fully believe what makes and breaks games. And it's that whole, like I said, even those games where you don't necessarily expect to win, but you can play strongly. Like that mindset 100%. Aspect is just so important.
And I think that is how we have managed to win these games, because our mindset is just so like clinical with that, and that is what literally has them 1 point wins. We've not stopped and we've kept going, and that is really important, like you say. And at the end of the day, if you don't enjoy rugby, what are you doing? Like, what's the point? So
on like a personal note, I was so heartbroken about the situation of rugby up in the north, because I live in Devon, and I'm really rural. I'm not now, but there's a lot of rural communities, similarly to some of the ones up in the north.
Yeah.
And I know, especially for how much for like young girls, rugby isn't just a sport or an exercise, it's that community, and it's a family, and it's a chance to, down here it's very much like a chance to get off the farm and socialize. It doesn't matter where you come from. You can come from a very underprivileged or a really struggling area and still play rugby. And I know that a lot of the girls that I've spoken to in the north about the situation, they've said it's a similar kind of thing, that like it gives so much more than just a ball.
It is 100%. And as well for me, like I am very big of wanting to represent the north. Like I want to, I literally live 15 minutes from Sales. I wouldn't like to have to sort of relocate and feel a bit like, when I actually really am proud of it and I want to represent. And there's a lot of girls there that are exactly the same, and I think especially because we've done so well so far, I think that being stripped away from us would be
I think that's part of your identity, isn't it? Being from the north is like, it's like
100%, 100%.
I've got northern family, and like and for me it's like it's a part of you that you could obviously never get rid of. But like, if we talk about some English rugby, like women's rugby icons, Katie Daly McQueen, Sarah Hunter, Skaz is still playing for them, but like huge names that have all come from up north, and so we all apart from all of those other people. If we don't develop that, we just don't. Like there's so much potential in the north for rugby for sure, and I don't understand. Like, I mean, the RFU need to sort it out. If anyone for the RFU is listening, they're probably not. But
please,
I'm going to email them this clip when we're done.
There has been a
Just me going sort it out. See if you get
on a loop.
See if you get a response. Sort out. Yeah, I just think I think I personally thought it was really gutting, and there's some other choices that with the restructuring that we won't get into today. I don't think I was too happy about, but I hope it all comes full circle and you guys get.
No, and it's great for it's nice to see the support and stuff, and it's very easy to just overlook, because if you're in a team and you're if you've got your team and whatnot, but there has been a lot of support. So fingers crossed that. We think we're very optimistic. I think we've got a good mindset towards it. So we're just sort of going to take it on the chin for now and focus on the rest of the season.
So and that's the thing, it's that like we've seen in all levels of Worcester and Wasps, keeping that chin up. It's a really interesting, a tough but an interesting situation, an interesting time to be in rugby at the moment, for sure. So we are barreling towards the Six Nations at immense pace. I mean, I'm personally excited for it. 2022, like Anya and I both had an insane year with the Six Nations.
I mean, it was crazy.
I loved it.
It was just like, I was honestly Hollie, just trying not to trip up in the middle of the pitch. That was the whole, like, I was honestly just trying to not fall flat on my face. That was, they were like, walk out onto it, and I'm like, I don't want to do it suddenly. Sorry.
I mean, they had me like put like a tiny ball on a cart out in France. And I felt like it was a car delivery out to the pitch, and when you feel like this is the most redundant job I've ever done. Like, I loved it, but I was still like, I have taken a ball and I have put it in a car. I was like,
I just remember being utter shock. I remember me standing trying to do the presentation thing, and Marley Packer just running over and hugging me, and I was like, well, this is one of the weirdest, coolest, weirdest moments of my life. Like, never thought this would be happening, but So
like, so many good memories. But like, Hollie, who, first of all, with the men's Six Nations, is there any game or anyone that you're really excited to watch?
So I always think that, like, obviously, England, watching them, always brilliant. There's obviously quite a few younger boys that have been brought up, isn't there? So it's nice to sort of see them. Obviously, being from Sale to Alagi, all them.
You got
obviously love to support them, watching them.
Murray will be in the background going, Scotland.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Literally.
But I think now, especially like in these times, like you just don't know what to expect with these games anymore. So I think that's what's excited me, is that you can put a game on and you don't know who's going to win, what the score's going to be, what's going to happen. All these yellow cards and red cards. Is there going to be a 13-man team at one point?
Who knows? I think it's really good though. I think it should be a good thing, because like obviously previously, it's like years, like you said, like it's always been like England dominating, and now it's going to be an interesting, like,
exactly.
It's always interesting now because you never, like you say, you never know. And Italy, you know, they've just kind of come back out of nowhere. So
I can't remember what's his name. Is it the fullback, the 15? He's been on real form.
Capuzio, is that his name?
Something like that. He's been on real good form. So excited to watch all of it, really.
Fantastic. It's honestly, it's going to be an insane Six Nations, and I think I agree with both of you. Like, it's just, you never know what's going to be called at this point. And I think from a female perspective, it's always really exciting to see that, like, there's so many more female match officials and stuff coming through as well. I know that sounds really naughty, but like, for me, when I had I did a similar injury to Abby Dow. I did the full on like leg break, and for me, I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to play rugby again.
Right.
And so I looked at refereeing, looked at things, but I was like, I don't know how many women referee, and I undernard very much. But if I'd have had more people, like you've got Coxie, you've got Joy Neville, like all these amazing female, all these people coming through. It's so inspiring on an off and a what's next perspective, because as you'll probably know from that top level, not everyone makes it to the top, and that is a hard level.
Also, just on women referees, this is a completely naughty thing that I just know because my mum sent it to me the other day. But Lego have released their first ever referee figure, and it's a woman. So there you go. Yeah. I was like, I saw it and I was like, interesting.
Well, they're the things, aren't they, that make you like, they are the things. And as a woman yourself, it's like proud, you know, because it's always been male dominated, and to see that now, I love it.
Absolutely. And it's the little thing as well, like, so, you know, again, I think as women in rugby, I think we're all very conscious of like challenging gender norms, you know, and we've all probably had the comments of everything ranging from like sharp and make me a sandwich to like women can't
play kitchen.
And it's little things like Lego, which was stereotypically not given to girls as much. Female referee in Lego nailed it. Like, it's those little things that are they're so prominent, and they just send such a positive message.
100%.
And I think even when we were young, Gemma, and it's going, you know, well, Gemma's I think younger than me, but when I was young, back in the day, it is back in the day now.
Many moons ago.
You know, I remember when I first started playing rugby, and I just like playing at the level you're playing at now, Hollie, was just not even an option. Do you know, like it was, but like it just wasn't. You know, like no one said that you could do those kind of things.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I still remember going to my first England game, and I was 16, and it was at the Stoop, and it was England versus New Zealand, and only one stand was full. Do you know what I mean? And it wasn't even full. Just one stand was open for people sitting in. And now you go to the Stoop and watch England internationals, and every single stand is full, and it's just
sold
like,
out.
for me, from where it's grown, it's like huge.
Yeah, it is huge, 100%. And I think it's getting more professional, like as you go along, even at like you know, champ level, lower level, the games are getting better, the girls are getting better, and the progress is just spiking so much. So
which because like it's been such a massive year. We've had Scotland getting contracts, we've had Wales getting contracts, we've had Ireland almost getting contracts.
Almost,
we're working on Ireland. Obviously we've got, you know, the men's Six Nations and the women's Six Nations rolling on straight after. I mean, this is probably even easier for you in the kind of context that you're in. Is there anyone that you are really rooting for in the women's Six Nations, or that you're just, again, excited to see?
Yeah, I think obviously having the Scots in the team, we've got fantastic Scotland players, you know, Rachel, we've got Molly Wright. I think I'm always excited to see the Scots. I feel like they're always sort of, you know, getting better and better each time I watch them, and it's like, again, you still don't know what's going to happen. Obviously Wales being now contracted, I've got Lisa Newman who just played Wales. I love to watch her play, she's fantastic. And I think especially Wales, because it'll be exciting to see how much they progress, having that professional background, having that a lot of, like, you know, intense training, to see where they can go and see what they can do. And I think like to see what teams can push England, and how, you know, when you come against teams like that, and then it pushes England to play a better game of rugby, and it shows how, like, how fantastic they are. So just probably excited to see Scotland play. sort of,
Would you say
rooting for them
would you
a
say
little
it's Scotland that kind of has your heart
Does
internationally?
it? Yeah.
bit.
They've got the charisma. They've got the charisma. Like, you can't
mean,
help but love Scotland, you know. You
Yeah,
can't.
I can't. Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. I think England through and through. I think you can't go. I think
Obviously,
can't not say that. But I do. Give a little shout here and there. For
Scotland's a
Scotland.
close second. Scotland's a close second. Yeah. I respect.
But no,
that.
it's just seeing your teammates play for the country. It's just something. Honestly,
Makes you
I can't
proud.
even put it. It's so proud. Yeah, so proud. So yeah, probably definitely support England. Obviously support England.
Yeah.
But I do give a shout out here and there to the Scottish.
Love that. I actually like that.
That's kept Murray happy.
Oh
yeah. Do you ever have like a pinch me moment, Hollie, when you're like playing in the Premier 15s, where you're playing alongside these, like, where you see these internationals that you've looked up to, like, and you're just a bit like, oh my god, this is my life and this is so cool, and like, because I think I couldn't even play rugby. I just be there being like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, it is. It's scary. I tell you what, some of them running at you, it's scary.
You just got the ball on. You're like, oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
It is. But it's definitely, like I say, especially when I was young, I was very like wow sort of thing. I didn't. I was in awe, sort of like, wow, I've got these amazing players around me. And stuff, but yeah, I think it's just like, so the fact that you can play in the same league and look up to these players and stuff, and have ambitions to go to where they want to go, and not only that, like, especially in Sale, we've got a few under-20s girls, and to see how well they've progressed through that pathway. And I know some of them players are going to go on to play for England, and it's exciting to see that journey. Yeah. So
because like I get a similar feeling, because the level we play at, we have like pathway players for a lot of these clubs as well, come with us. And like we had Ailey Sinclair with us for one game at the start of last season, and she stepped 7 people and scored a try, and I was just like, you're not going to be with us very long, hun.
Yeah. Oh, we've had a couple when you're just there, you're like, I so wish you could stay with us every season, but you're not going to. Do you know what I mean? It's like, can you just not realise how can we all just tell her she's not good, and then she'll stay, and then she'll just think like, but no, totally, like. And sometimes we'll be playing, and like, like for example, we've got some of the Premiership girls dual signed to the level we're kind of playing at, and just be like, this is crazy. And you're like, you're almost okay getting stepped by them. Do you know what I mean? Or it's like, no, totally.
Go on, just do it.
Yeah, just get. You are going to do it, so you might as well. But no, I totally get it.
I have one last kind of question really for you, Hollie, because I'm just curious, because rugby players often tend to have weird or strange hobbies or activities that they do outside rugby. Do you have one? Like I know that some people that they play rugby and they're like into knitting and all sorts of strange stuff.
I cross stitch, and that's not weird. Jemma, it's not weird to cross stitch. I enjoy it.
I would love to cross stitch. You'll have to teach me, because
Hollie, I'll teach you happily. Don't worry. It's so much fun.
You know what? I wouldn't say that I have. I think rugby takes over. Rugby is life and all that. I'm not gonna lie. I like watching TikToks. I like making TikToks.
Yes, Hollie.
I like dancing. I like stuff like that. I wouldn't call it a hobby, but I get my eyelashes done a lot. That.
I know.
I like it.
Really nice. Yeah.
I like this whole thing as well, that like we can be girly and play rugby as well. Do you know what I mean? Like, we can have our hair done, our nails done.
100%. I remember someone saying to me like, "Are you wearing them to play?" I was like, "Yes, I am wearing them to play." Yeah. Obviously, it makes me feel better. So I think with being at uni and stuff, trying to finish my degree, so trying to just sort of with stuff like that. But no, I like to have a party. I like to have a dance. I like to sing. I like to express. So, but I wouldn't say I would necessarily have a specific hobby.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
I just.
Quick question though: if you had to do like karaoke on a bus home, what would be your go-to song that you'd sing?
American Boy by Estelle, hands down.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely.
That's an old school tune. I like that. That's classic. What would yours be, Jemma?
Oh, that is it. I've done 2 buses, and I can't remember what I sang. I think I just like absolutely bottled. I think
it's so nerve-wracking, isn't it, on the bus?
Yeah.
Oh, it's horrible.
I think what's mad is that I will look at someone who's almost double my height, double my weight, and I'm like, I'll run into you for the giggles. Ask me to
put me in front of a microphone.
Love that.
But I think I'd do Lord Royals.
Oh, yeah.
Weird, but so catchy.
Yeah.
I like that. We have a tradition on our team that anyone who's got like so when it's your first team away game, you have to sing on the way back.
Yeah. Love that.
Yes. Oh yes. Those. I'm one who plays with karaoke. I love karaoke. So
I love karaoke.
Like,
I'll never forget when we had like an end of season like shark. We called it a shark fest. For like we did all the awards, and
I want to come.
Yeah.
Invite please.
You need to be there. And the owners of Sale, Michelle and Simon, basically did out one of their big whole mansions, like housing thing, did that out for Sharks Fest, and I actually got up in front of everybody and did American Pie by Estelle with my best friend in front of all the boys, all the staff, all the women, and I just fully sent it, and I was literally like, and the next day I was like, watching the videos like,
I hate that next day. That next day when you're like, I'm a different person now.
Yeah.
That was a different me. That was drunk me, not the same person.
But I love entertaining. I think I am an entertainer at heart.
Yeah. I get those vibes, Holly. I think you'd be a good entertainer. Yeah.
Yeah. I totally relate with the rugby social stuff, because I'm constant, like I wake up after rugby social, I'm like, that wasn't me, that was Patricia. Like
yeah. Oh, we had our nativity social, and I woke up the next day and I was like, I don't want to hear anyone talk about it. I was like, I don't want to hear anyone. And then it was like an away game to Cheltenham, and we were all on this bus, and then it got snowed off, so we were like, thank fuck. We're like the whole time we were like on this bus talking about it, and I was like, no one should mention anything that I was doing.
Yeah.
I remember it all. You don't need to tell me. Yeah.
I just gave her the like you okay hun message.
You get to know your teammates though a lot. Like that's what I love doing. We did a social, like we did like they did like a rock climbing one. We've done that one in the past where we all went on this like aqua park.
Nice.
Yes.
And it was insane. And you just get to spend time with people that you do, like might not necessarily be as close with us, and it's still really good for that, to be fair. We do like a buddy system and stuff, and it's so important to know your teammates. Especially you spend what 3 out of 7 days with them a week, so
especially at your level, I think you're constantly seeing each other, and I guess though, like, at training there's not that time to like, I mean we all form friendships at training, but you don't really get that but you spend 100%. Time outside of rugby together, so that's nice.
I think what you raised there as well is really important about having the mix friends. Of the boozy fun socials, but also the fun non-boozy socials.
100%.
I'm not gonna lie, Sale sounds like where it's at. I think we need to go. Girls, I think Sale. Maybe we need to trip to Sale.
The club.
We'll take the podcast on the road.
You'll have to come to a game. What will our closest game be to you two?
Probably.
So I live about 300 yards from Sandy Park. So.
It'll be Chiefs for Gemma, and it will probably be Quins for me. Probably be. So I'll come up. It'll be fine.
Well, Exeter away isn't far away, so we'll have to get you some tickets. Come on.
Oh, Hollie.
100%.
I'll come down. Gemma, I'll come down. I'll come be a guest in your we'll have a weekend.
We love that. Now, before we finish up for the day, because this has been amazing, Hollie, is there anything you'd like to ask us?
Yeah, actually, I was thinking about this before. So obviously, TikTok queens. What inspired you to sort of put because I personally think it is very nerve-wracking, and it's very, there's people out there that don't see what we see and what we think and what. So like, what made you like? How did you get confident? What made you like want to express that sort of side to things?
Yeah.
I think, well, in the beginning, and I don't know if it's the same for Gemma, I just started doing it I think at the end of lockdown as just like something to do with my time. And in a weird way, because like I wasn't seeing anyone else, I just thought no one was actually watching the videos. Like in a weird, I just completely like dissociated from it. I was like, oh, it's just me making some fun videos like on my own about things that I like find funny, or like things that my teammates always say, that, you know, like backs knock on, like that would be like one of the ones that, like, so, you know, people make that joke about, right? And I think, and then all of a sudden it started getting likes, and I was a bit like, okay. And like then a little bit of that whole like anxiety came in, and I was like, what am I doing? And I had constant talks with Jemma where I'm like, I feel like such an imposter, I don't know what I'm doing, like this is like you know, she's been my guru, I'd say, throughout this. I do message her along all the time, asking her questions and things like that. But yeah, I think me and Jemma just did it as, you know, us grassroots players, like we just there's nothing on social like media really for just like the average kind of player, and so I think that was what we just wanted to just. I just wanted to have fun with it. I think that's what I did. I don't know about Jemma, so yeah, that would be me. Yeah, I
definitely remember seeing. I think it was must have been like, it was a while back. I think it was like one of your first posts, Jemma, or like one that went viral sort of thing. Yeah. And they're so relatable. They're so funny. Yeah. They're like they are really relatable. And you know what, that rugby sort of TikTok community is probably the only people that would understand, but it's hilarious. Some of the things that I have seen are really, really relatable and funny, and I think it's great.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so for me, we were in lockdown 1. I was really depressed. I just gone through a breakup. Like I was going through a really rough time, and I really missed what had been such a great support for me, which was the rugby community. And like Anja, I hadn't really seen many other people that were rugby, and specifically not female rugby, on TikTok, and was just like, I'm just gonna like, again, put what's in my really weird brain out on the internet. Literally. And then that seemed like such a great idea at the time, and I mean it's amazing, but it
felt like such a good idea, and then everyone found it and you're like, oh, okay.
It's like when someone finds your weird sock drawer, you know, but like
they find all your cross stitches.
It is a good platform for that though. 100%. Like I say, you can relate to it, and it is like light-hearted, you know, it's funny. It's like it's entertainment at the end of the day, and that's what I like and get from it. So it is. From my perspective,
like, as much as I always make jokes about scrum halves, two of the people I'm closest to on my team are scrum halves. One of the first people that I spoke to at Bristol Bears v Exeter Chiefs was Kira Bevan. And she came up and she was like, oh mate, I've seen one of your videos popped up on my For You page this morning, they're hilarious. She's like,
and you know what, actually, I've seen a lot of the internationals getting more into it.
When Crab, I've seen Gwen Crab do quite a lot of them now. It's quite good. Like, I think it's the same thing. Like, I take the piss out of backs all the time, but like, I also know I couldn't play without them on the pitch. Do you know what I mean? And on the team, like, I'm not so like.
But that's what I love that though, because like it's almost like kind of, you know, like that stereotypical, like, especially from like back in the way back when I first got to know rugby, like, sort of thing, you hear them stereotypical things, they're still in there now, and I think that I like that, because that is what rugby is, you know.
Like nines are always mouthy. They always are. Like on my team, Chemist like bits, but like she will give it as good as she takes. Like and you just think, fair enough. It's a fact. Like it's true. You know, they're the first to jump in the fight. Like they are
exactly
the first to start.
If you've not held a scrum half either as a surfboard or just by the shirt, you've actually not played rugby. And I think like now, even like I'll be like, I say to someone, I'll be at work and I'll just be going like, or just hear a sound or just something, and I'll be like, I can make a really good. And I'll literally be in the middle of my, like, I'm a chiropractor, so I'm like, I don't have a patient in, and I'll be like, I'm gonna make one now, or like, that's a good thing about it.
They're fun to do. I think TikTok's been a great platform, really, especially through COVID.
Honestly, it got me through, and like, what was so lush for me is that when I started getting the ability to do lives and stuff like that, I was able to chat with people directly and face to face, and that was just at that time when we were so starved of contact and of just seeing people that we related to and we liked. I had someone actually quite recently come up and say, like, your lives were one of the things that got me through the lockdowns, and I was like, oh, like that really hit home.
I think I remember watching one of yours. I think you're doing I think you're getting ready for something actually.
She's always getting ready for such. She's always getting ready when she's
getting ready for something. But literally the Six Nations is sponsored by TikTok, so that's that's what's great about it, and that's where it's brought it now. And it goes global, doesn't it?
And we wouldn't have had half the experiences. Like I wouldn't have had half the experiences I've had without Jemma won't take credit, but I wouldn't have had half the experiences I've had without Jemma inviting me to certain events, and then some places we've been because of TikTok and Six Nations has just been incredible. I went to the launch last year, and just being in a room with some the best players in the world. I personally would never have had that experience otherwise. I'm just there trying to play it so cool, but not playing it cool at all. And going to No Woman No Try program,
I was all just those violently things. Embarrassing myself. Just
no, she doesn't. She's just so good. She says that, but she doesn't. But yeah, I think it's just it's so nice, and it's so nice to meet all of you guys. I think a lot for us. I would meet players like you, or speak to players like you. I met Murray on
that's how I met Murray on TikTok actually. Followed his stuff came up on TikTok. Sort of followed it. Yeah, seen the little girl Frankie. She's doing well, bless her.
Yeah, we had her on before Christmas.
Yeah, I watched that one. Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah, she was. That's great.
I forget people watch these. I got my friend's mum. I went to rugby with one of my friend's mum. She was like, "Oh, Annie's got a podcast," and I was like, "Claire, you can't listen." I was like, "Claire, you don't listen to it." I was like, "Please don't listen." I was like, "No."
Hollie, are you solely Rugby Tock, or do you follow anyone else? Is there anyone non-rugby on TikTok that you?
You want a weird side of TikTok?
I absolutely love. Picking. I'm on I'm on dance TikTok. I think I swear. Honestly, I always there's people coming up doing all these popping, locking, robot, all this stuff. And I love it because I just think, how could you do that? You're so talented. And I was actually laughing the other day. With my girlfriend, I was saying, imagine if I was a TikToker that danced and I just got up and randomly started doing that. It just was it's those groups of people that do the dance, and you see the ones on the streets doing them all and stuff like that.
I could never.
How they just stop in the middle of traffic, and I'm like, are you not embarrassed? Are you not there's no one to look at you. I'd be so when I do TikToks, even when I do them in a corner where no one can see. When no one can see me.
I have tend to annoy my mates before because I'm like, get in this TikTok, come on, do this with me.
I try to get Jemma to dance with me, but Jemma doesn't like the dancing ones too much, so
Jemma
cannot do the dancing.
Yeah,
one.
She says that.
Didn't you do one with Iffy dancing TikTok?
Me?
Did you do one with
that was Amy. Amy did the dance one with me. Amy's a dancer.
Everyone mistakes me and Amy because it's blonde hair rugby, but that's Amy and Iffy.
We did do one with Zoe Aldcroft, and it wasn't our best.
I closely resembled a spider.
You can literally see me go 1, 2, 3, 4. So can Jemma.
You can literally see Anja counting these up to you.
5, 6. Yeah, let's go, guys.
That's me.
It's great. Yeah, probably dance. I'm definitely on dance TikTok, and I think food TikTok that comes up. That saves a lot, actually, doesn't it?
I end up in some really odd. I end up in some really odd places sometimes. I'm like, I don't.
It's such a weird algorithm, isn't it? You don't even know what to expect sometimes.
I'm currently having loads of borzois.
Yeah. What's that?
Yeah, there's dogs with the long noses that kind of look like a windsock.
No. I get spots. I'm on the spot picking side of TikTok, or just how to do random things, how to. I end up on a lot of how tos.
But those how-tos, they're here's something you can create at home if you have a hacksaw, a bandsaw, a glue gun, and a professional carpenter. But you can create this.
Or my favourite one is here's a meal to make. Here's a meal to make with everything you have in your fridge at home, and they take out duck breast, and potato. And everyone's like, I don't have that.
I recently love that one, that trend where it's that you go up to your mum or your friend or your nana, oh my god,
Michael Jackson
died or something like that. Have you seen that one? That was really funny.
Have you not seen these ones? Oh, when someone was the whole of the Beach Boys died. It was just cracked me up because I'm like, how would that happen?
I literally someone started crying and everything.
And the mom's like,
oh yeah, that one. Yeah, that took a few seconds. I'm fully.
I can see you working it out. You know, when they walk in the room, they're like, "Oh my god, like Michael Jackson's dead at 76," and then they're like, and then.
I'm gonna send them to you.
Please do.
It's the compilations of them.
Yeah, I have one. The one that keeps floating around as well on my apparently really weird for you page is the one that's like, "You're excused, bruh. I'm not your bruh."
I want to do that. I want to do that with like forwards and backs or like 2 9s bumping into each other. You're excused, bruh.
Anja, we should do that when we when we're next in our kits.
Yeah. When 2 TikTokers walk past each other, and I'm not your bra.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, Hollie, it's been an absolute ball.
Honor.
Thank you so much for coming on.
No, thank you for having me. It's been lovely to meet you as well.
Aww.
Honestly, you've been an absolutely awesome guest.
Hollie can come back. Yeah.
Hollie can come back with preferably with invites to the sale end of season party.
The wholesale crew can just
I'll be like +1, +2,
+3, 4. Yeah, all of them.
Thank you so much, guys. This has been another amazing episode of 2 Props,
1 Pod.
I'm Jemma.
And I'm Anja.
And that is Hollie Borden.
That is Hollie Borden. Thank you very much.
See you soon. I was about to say next week. We'll see you soon.